Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Virgo. So Virgo, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. So Virgo, let's talk about things that are meant to come to you in the right time. And because there is this knowingness, this trust in what is yours, right? Because this is the first thing that is coming through in a very straightforward way. What is yours and yours? You don't have to worry about when it's going to come to you or when it's going to manifest or materialize or come to fruition. Although I do feel like you are multitasking and engaging in several different activities and initiating many things all at once. It's not just maintaining things or taking care of daily tasks. It feels like you are initiating things, and it's almost like it's like there are many things that are demanding your attention, because since they are in the very beginning, it's almost like you have to dedicate yourself to them, right? But you're doing all of these initiations in a sense at once, and it feels like that is a good thing in a sense, because it's going to distract you in a good way so that you don't worry about what is yours, that is coming to you, that is going to manifest. And I do feel like this manifestation or this fate, it's actually the arrival of somebody that really surprises you. It's like they come out of the blue, or they just they just enter your life, or they enter this moment where you are multitasking and just engaging in several different things, and that just really opens your mind in a way that makes you shine even brighter. But there is this, it's like there is this question mark, there is this moment of, why is this happening now? What is this meant to mean? Or there is a little bit of confusion at the end, right? So let's begin with the first card, which is this Wheel of Fortune that brought this very, very clear message of what is yours and is yours. It's like you don't have to worry about that, right? There is this sense of, it's not peace, it's more like trust. Trust in terms of knowing that what is meant to come to you, it's going to come. But I do feel like you are a little bit, before all the other cards came through, I did feel like you were a little bit in your head about this, right? So it's almost like this guidance of, Virgo, don't worry, what is yours is yours. There's nothing that you can do to control this fate, or there's nothing that you can do to force things or to anticipate your destiny, right? What is yours, and it's going to come in the right time. But then when this card came through, which is the Fool but reversed, and I feel like this is the first time that I see the Fool reversed, because it was giving me this very funny image of the legs of an octopus. So it's almost like if I were to put these two cards like this, it's like this is your mind, right? The head of the octopus, and then these are the legs. But if you look here, you see here how there are these three small dots or balls or tasks or situations or people in your life. This is where I was seeing you juggling three things all at once, right? And I'm just saying three because there are three legs here, but it could be several or multiple things happening at the same time. And I do feel like because it's like the legs, it's almost like you're moving in a way that it's almost automatic. You don't need to think, even though it's the Fool. So that's, bringing the initiation, the first steps, the initial phases. It's not something that is, it's like, what you can do, but because you're doing many things or you're beginning many different things at once, it's almost like you have to rely upon your efficiency or the things that are, it's like that, you know, like by heart. It's how it's coming through, but it's more like allow your limbs to work for you in a way that you don't have to think about it as much, because it's almost like your mind is connected to something that is far greater than the mundane things, right? The mundane things are part of it's almost like part of the intelligence of the universe to not allow you to stay stuck thinking about whether or not this destiny is going to be fulfilled, whether or not you're going to receive what is meant to come to you, right? So all of these projects, all of these ideas, all of these new situations or relationships, they are meant to play a role, but a role that it's almost like, it's not like testing your efficiency, but in a way it's engaging your energy, your productivity, right? Being a Virgo, it's like you know how to use that, these work skills or these, like this ability of yours, right? Of like, just handling many things at once and doing so almost effortlessly, because the first thing that I saw when I saw these legs of an octopus was how gracefully it floats in the water, right? So it's almost like, yes, you are dealing with a lot, with multiple things at once. Your mind is perhaps, at first stuck in this, it's not exactly a daydream, it's more like this intentional thought, right? Of just maybe talking with the universe and asking the universe, like, when it's going to be the time for you to fulfill your destiny or something like that. But at the same time, because it's almost like it is the octopus, so there is like this unity, right? But these cards, because they are coming through in two different cards, it's almost like there is this split. It's almost like you could think about something far greater about your future, but you're doing the dishes, or it's like you're performing some sort of task in the mundane, but it's not exactly doing the dishes, right? It was just an example. It's more like something new because of the Fool. And I know that the reversal of the cards, sometimes they do bring like the opposite of the meaning, but it's not the case here for you, Virgo. This is in fact talking about different initiations. So it's almost like maybe you do have to use your natural, maybe crafty skills, right? Again, it's like, it's about the limbs. So you need to use the intelligence or the efficiency of your limbs to execute something for the first time. And it's not just one thing. So therefore, it's almost like there is a little bit of this splitting of your mind and the handy things, is that how you say it? There is like this separation, right? It's almost like you find a way to juggle all of that to be productive, like, doing the things that you need to do, because this is part of you engaging in things while the timing for this manifestation to come through is arriving, right? And I do feel like it's because you are engaging in these initiations, let's call it that the way, these initiations or this initial phases of different projects, that this destiny is starting to become more visible or is starting to arrive in your life. Like, it's not in your consciousness. It's actually, I do feel like it's actually a person entering your life, because it's the Knight of Cups. And this Knight of Cups, that's the thing. Let me already add this next card, which is the Sun, because I feel like both of you are surprised with one another. The arrival of this Knight of Cups surprises you because you're here engaged in all of these new tasks and all at once, so it's a lot, right? So they are looking at you doing that very gracefully, and they are astonished because the sun here is just talking about the open, wide eyes, right? It's like, very, just, a bit, it's not enchanted per se, although they are coming with the heart, right? It's like, and it's more than curiosity as well. How do I describe this? It's more like surprised and shocked. Like, how can you do all that you're doing so gracefully when it's all new to you? It's almost like, how can you dominate all of these skills when all of them seem to be new for you, right? They are a little bit surprised. But the thing about because I do feel like they see you first, right? Because you're here distracted doing all of these things, they're the ones maybe who are seeing you and approaching you, and just, with this wide eyes, they are staring at you. It's like they are shining a light towards like every single thing that you're doing, right? To your ability, to your skills. That's the thing. It's like what they do is point out something that perhaps because you're so engaged, because you're so in these activities, it's like you're not realizing the amount of power that you hold, or the amount of light that you bring, right? The grace, the light here wants to be attached to the, associated with the, the graceful movement, right? It's like, it's not like the juggling these three things is some sort of like a hard effort. It's almost like this very effortless movement, graceful movement, right? So maybe that's the reason why they are looking at you and they are just astonished, is because their essence is very gentle, but maybe they don't have the same level of efficiency or the same level of productivity that you do. And the funny thing is that you see here how there are these two wands, right? These two legs. The way that I saw these two legs in particular, when you see the arrival of this one, when you see this one approaching you and paying attention, it's almost like you do perceive their gentleness, because it's almost like they've been there, but you didn't realize until they pointed something about your light, about your grace, about your efficiency, about how well you're doing these things, right? It's like their arrival is very gentle, very soft, very silent, very modest, but the way that they are pointing your light, it's like that's what calls you towards them. That's what catches your attention, that they are there, right? Which is in fact, you being in the right place at the right time, doing these things which seem to be at first detached, but then they are connected, right? Because you being here, it's like this is what is going to attract, in a sense, this one. And so the moment that finally you realize that they are there, standing beside you and just observing you, and they are admiring you, right? It's like they are, it's almost like they just want to learn from you, in the sense that they want to see how gentle moves can be productive, right? Because maybe this is the thing that they don't know how to execute, right? But here, when you see them, it's almost like you put aside these main two tasks, and then the way that I was seeing this is like you bow, right? It's like you bow with your skirt, right? I was seeing this as a skirt, right? When, ladies used to bow and they hold the skirt. This is how I'm seeing this image. It's like you're putting aside, it's almost like, whatever you're doing, whatever you're holding, is like you change the focus, right? It's like your focus, because they are pointing towards something, right? They are illuminating something. It's like they make you, in a very gentle way, they make you shift your focus. So you put aside these things, and the moment that it's like it's almost like you want to introduce yourself to them, but in the best way possible, right? It's like you don't want to pass on this image of, struggling. You don't. It's like you, and I don't feel like this is conscious. It's like you you are very graceful. That's the thing. It's like you are very graceful when you are performing, you know, these several different activities all at once. But when you stop that, when you interact with another, you are also very gentle and very graceful, right? And they perceive that and they admire that. It's almost like they're bringing you the possibility of highlighting to you like your best qualities, right? Because you're so immersed, right? It's like you don't even know that you are that graceful. You don't even know that you are doing these things in a very automatic way without thinking, because your mind is set elsewhere, trusting, right? And because it's like your limbs are working by themselves, they have their own intelligence in a sense. So what this one does, which is part of this destiny, is like it's almost like they are giving you a chance for you to see from an outside perspective how graceful you are, right? And even when you are dealing with new stuff, new things, new activities, new abilities, it's like it's so natural, right? Because to me the sun talks about this natural movement, this natural light, this natural brightness. It's like you are shining brightly but in a very natural way, and they identify themselves with part of that, not all of that, right? It's almost like they know that they could use an advice, or they could it's like they could learn from you. It's not an actual learning. It's not like they're going to become your student. It's more like just observing. Like they just want to be near you, right? But the thing about the cards that are coming next is that both of you are having this impact in one another that is, you know, just very eye-opening, right? Because to me, this presented as, you know, this wide open eyes, right? And maybe we're talking about the third eye. But what it does really is it makes both of you dream, or it makes both of you imagine something beyond what you've known, beyond, because you have been, Virgo, here, right? Interacting with these very immediate things, right? Because they're all at your reach. They are within your reach, right? They are within your field in a sense. They're not far away. But this one, it's almost like because they are the knights, I feel like they are coming like a longer way. It's like they are coming from afar, whereas you are there waiting, right? Not waiting and, you know, doing nothing. On the contrary, you're doing a lot, but you are in the same place doing all of these new things. They are the ones traveling to you. They are the ones coming to you. So both of you have very different perspectives, but both of you, in seeing each other with the Two of Wands, what this card is saying is that with opening your eyes, the effect that you provoke in one another is that you open your horizons. Both of you are, it's almost like they've never seen somebody, you know, like being like this octopus, productive, multitasking person, but in a graceful way. And you perhaps have never seen somebody, you know, very compassionate, very gentle, very empathetic, very kind, right? Approaching you and pointing to the things that you are excelling in, right? It's like just highlighting your own light, right? So it's like they don't have a drop of selfish ego, or it's like they are very devoted to, it's like they're very pure, right? They're not naive though, because they're not the page, they are the knight. But it seems like they can learn from you. It's like they can learn how to use the gentleness, the gracefulness that seems to be part of their nature, but in a more productive way, right? And so here, it seems like both of your horizons are opening because of this meeting, because of this fated meeting, right? And then here, the strange but interesting thing is that it feels like something that both of you have known or have felt or have intuited or received it in a vision or something like that. Because the Six of Cups is talking about this very strange familiarity. Again, I don't feel like this is a person that is in your intimate circle. I don't feel like you are acquainted. It's like, it feels like a new person. It's almost like part of all of the newness that you're dealing with. They are fascinated by you. It's almost like they've never seen a creature like you, is what I just heard. They've never seen a creature quite like you, right? And it really highlights something that opens their minds, open their hearts. It's almost like it's making them shine a light towards their nature, but because they see your true nature in a very efficient way, right? And it seems like you perhaps are not aware because you're so, it's like you're in this action mode, right? You're engaging, you're doing, it's like your thoughts are trusting, in a sense, what is here, being guided by the wheel of fortune. If you trust that what is yours, it's like it's okay to allow your body to move in a certain way to deal with all of the newness in your day, right? But here with the Six of Cups, in meeting each other, in opening both of your horizons, because both of you are strange to one another, but then familiar, right? It's almost like there is a little bit of this sense of deja vu. It's not exactly deja vu. It's more like, if they haven't seen somebody like you ever before, and you've never seen somebody as kind as them before, this would be very disturbing perhaps, or at least very odd, right? But even being very odd, because it is opening up this new set of possibilities, it is feeling like something that feels familiar, right? That's the best word that is coming through. I don't know how else to explain this. It feels strangely familiar, right? There is this word in English that I love, that I learned in architecture school, that whenever I think about these very odd but familiar sensations or perceptions, this word comes to mind. So it's uncanny, right? It's uncanny. It's the reason why both of your eyes are wide open. Both of your horizons are opening up. But the fascinating thing and the really bizarre thing about this message today for you, Virgo, is that it's ending with the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords feels like a whole separate thing from the entire message, because until now, it's almost like both of you are leaning towards one another, right? It's like there is a little bit of formality, especially coming from you. And because you're coming as the Knight, maybe they do have like this appearance that is a little bit more formal, right? Even though they are very kind, very empathetic, very gentle, very sweet, they do feel like they have like this barrier. So it's almost like because you don't know one another, it's almost like there is no degree of intimacy, but because there is this strange familiarity, it's very bizarre, okay? Because at the same time that both of you want to lean towards one another, it's almost like both of you are also very cautious. So it's almost like, okay, this is strange. It's very attractive, it's very alluring, it's very appealing. I want to know more of these possibilities that I have never seen, that I have never envisioned, that I have never dreamed of or visualized, or whatever it is that is opening up your horizon and their horizon, right? But it feels familiar, so it feels like I'm able to trust, but I don't know you. So it's almost like, do I lean forward? Do I stay where I am? Do I say something else? Do I wait? It's almost like this, maybe you're not communicating. That's the thing, right? It's like you stop what you're doing because you see that there is somebody that is watching you, but you feel, it's almost like you feel this intriguing desire to understand why this one is coming through, because that's the thing. It's almost like here, right? It's like, okay, you trust that the timing of the universe is very specific, is very perfect in a sense. But then if there is this caution here, almost like this alert, right? It's like, why would it feel very familiar? Why would it feel very eye-opening, very mind-opening? And why would it feel very strange? Both of you, from both of you, it's like both of you have this strange familiarity, right? It's like you don't know why this meeting is happening. That is so fascinating. But there's something that this Wheel of Fortune is not saying, right? Because it only, whenever I see this card, it's like I keep on hearing, what is yours is yours, what is yours is yours, Virgo. And it's almost like it's not going to give you more. So even though here we do have like this caution or this alert or just like this mindful approach of like, okay, so since I don't know you and you don't know me, let's just, you know, stay where we are and just let's see what happens. That's the thing. It's like it's almost like this non-verbal communication, this sense of familiarity, like recognition, but it's intriguing, right? That is so fascinating. Okay, Virgo, I am going to pull more cards to see if there is anything to clarify this very mysterious reading today. And I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.